Hey guys, what's going on? It's Sloppy Joe. Yeah, I'm recording this in a weight room because the hotel I'm at doesn't really have any privacy where I can record a little video. Just want to say thank you so much for a wonderful 2018. You guys made my dream come true to get to 1,000 subscribers, but it's not going to stop there. We're going to keep climbing into 2019 and have a better year than the last year. So this is the first episode of Woulda, Shoulda, Coulda, a brand new series originated by me where we look at certain races of certain drivers that could have changed their career path if they won the race that they truly deserved. I hope you guys really enjoyed this first episode because it's a race that a lot of people really forget about. Let alone they don't forget about who won the race, but they forgot who truly dominated this race. To all the giveaway winners as well, thank you so much for participating. Your giveaway should be going out in the next day or two. Thank you for your patience with the holidays. It's been absolutely crazy since I've been out of town this entire time. I hope you guys all had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you all have a wonderful new year as 2019 is right around the corner. That means Daytona is really close, guys. I am so excited. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight to the brand new video, guys. Thank you so much.
Get by. He just can't get enough nose under him without getting into him. Oh, he did get him. He spins him in. Vickers wins. He did. Vickers has beat him across the line just by a car length. Mike Bliss did a whale of a job.
Did we make it? Did we make it?
No, Brian Vickers certainly found a peculiar way to win all of his NASCAR wins in general, especially this one in 2006 where he made some accidental contact with Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. to win his first career Cup win at Talladega. Brian Vickers was in Hendrick Motorsports equipment from 2004 to 2006 and only got one win when they were at that time the dominant team in the sport besides Jack Roush. He then went to Red Bull Racing where he got one win due to fuel mileage and didn't really do anything else after that. He then signed a short-term deal with Michael Waltrip Racing and pretty much got a good bargain out of it for winning New Hampshire, beating veterans like Kyle Busch and Tony Stewart. After that, though, Brian Vickers never really did anything and kind of fell off the face of the earth. But at one point at Hendrick Motorsports, he was looked at to be the future Jeff Gordon. And in a few races in 2005, let alone one in particular, Brian Vickers showed what he could truly do in a car if he had dominant equipment. And that race was the Pocono 500 in 2005. The Pocono 500 in 2005 was a very odd race. There really wasn't a favorite heading into it, let alone with the random starting grid that happened in this race. Michael Waltrip, yes, that Michael Waltrip in the 15 Napa Chevy was your pole winner, along with McMurray in second and Brian Vickers in third. But no one thought the young kid in third would have the dominating run like he did on that day.
Mike Joyce said, 200 laps, 500 miles, 600 corners, best advice I can get you. Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Michael Waltrip unable to fight off McMurray, who moved up to the front row, and Kurt Busch had to go to the back for a brake system repair.
Wow.
3 wide, 4 wide. Wow.
Big move by Harvick down into turn 2.
But let me tell you something about Jamie McMurray in that 42 car. I guarantee you he is bending that floor pan. He has not let a lap this year yet.
And I'll tell you the other thing. When you're the pole sitter, you want to be sure you lead that first lap. You don't want anybody to say, oh, he wasn't that good, got a lucky lap.
That's your first best chance to lead all day. Michael has the steam off turn 3, and there are only 3 corners here. Waltrip leads the first lap from Harvick, McMurray, Vickers, and Mayfield.
But what a move by Kevin Harvick in the 29 car.
It just seems to go that way this year, Larry. You got so many people so close together that if you stumble from one week to the next, you go backwards.
Take a look at Michael Waltrip's lead interval, and let's see how he's gaining it here. He's up 3.16 on Harvick, and he's been the quickest car the last couple of laps. Here are speeds at the line. And yes, there is a difference.
About a mile an hour. It's been as much as 5/10 on the clock.
See right there, though, Brian Vickers, our third-place car, after qualifying third, had the second quickest speed at the line, the start-finish line.
How about that second-place car backing up just a little bit, Dick Bergman?
Well, he did real well at the drop of the green flag, Mike. Harvick started in 8th position and quickly moved to the second spot. He's been there ever since. But the reason he's dropping back, he called the crew on the radio.
It's pretty crazy to see Michael Waltrip dominating a race at one point that's not a restrictor plate track. But back to the main part of the video. Michael Waltrip did lead the early part of the race. He at one point had a 10-second lead over the field. But the young kid in the number 25 Ditech.com Chevy was the only one that was able to run faster laps than Michael Waltrip and cut that lead down. He got the lead down to about 8 seconds, nearly 7.5 seconds, when a caution came out on lap 31, thus starting the first cycle of pit stops where 4 tires and fuel and all the etc. adjustments started. The 25 crew was able to get Brian Vickers ahead of Michael Waltrip, and thus the dominating performance started for Brian Vickers.
Caution flag out for Kurt Busch's spin, which looked much like his spin early in the Cook 600 at Charlotte. So now after pit stops are done, Mike Wallace stayed out to lead a lap. He has since pitted in the Lucas Oil number 4. So Brian Vickers, after a great run at Dover, a strong qualifying effort here, and a quick pit stop by Lance McGrew and the crew, and the number 1 pit stall, Vickers beat everybody off pit road.
Yeah, just quickly, I think one of the reasons that Mike Bliss and him decided to do the surgery and driver change here is because you can. There's no chance much of losing a lap, so get that surgery done now, coming to a place where you can make a driver swap without hurting the team.
A caution lap's about 2.5 minutes here, so yeah, very easy to make that driver change and make sure he's safely buckled in that race car.
So Vickers will lead Michael Waltrip, Jeremy Mayfield, Jamie McMurray, and Kevin Harvick. On the restart green flag, Bobby Hamilton Jr. had just pitted, but he got the free pass, so that leaves Jeff Green and Kevin LePage 1 lap down to the leaders.
Now, just before the caution flag flew, that 25 car, Brian Vickers, he was as fast as Michael. There were just 8 seconds difference in where they were. And as you can see right there, he gets off of turn 1 and he's going on, baby. How about it, Steve?
Hey, DW, Lance McGrew, the crew chief for Brian Vickers, told him before the restart, he said, Brian, that 15 is wicked fast. If he gets around you, don't try to waste any time with him. Just get in behind him and ride with him.
But I would have to believe being out front in clean air, all the downforce on that nose, whether you're the 15 or...
Log on to GilletteYoungGuns.com for details. Enter for a chance to win. The Gillette Young Gun Challenge, brought to you by N3 Power, the world's best shave. Not on that list, but one of the youngest guns in this race, 21-year-old Brian Vickers, leading in his Chevy at lap 86. He lists his heroes as non-racing heroes, Franklin D. Roosevelt and Albert Einstein.
A little bit strange what you think for a race car driver, but I think he said to me the other day that those heroes like that are kind of helped him get through these tough times he's had early on in his career.
All right, so far for him, no problem with the tires. Earlier we showed you Dale Earnhardt Jr. among those. He's
trying to become the 11th different winner at Pocono for Hendrick Motorsports. Jeff Gordon and Tim Richmond 3 apiece. Jimmy Johnson, both of last year's races. Jeff Bodine and Terry Labonte have all won on the Pocono Tri-Oval. For Hendrick, Carl Edwards is trying to become the first ever winner here for Jack Roush.
And I'm going to tell you what, Carl Edwards in the 99 car, he wants the lead from Brian Vickers. In fact, you just saw Brian Vickers, his hand go out the left window. He sees the 99, called him, pass me on the inside. Let's don't lose a bunch of time to those guys back there running third and beyond. Good move right there. I mean, when normally Pocono, you normally see the veterans prevail here. You look at these 2 guys coming into today, only 2 Pocono starts between the 2 of them.
And reason being, they never knew how shifted. They never shifted here. They just figure it's a normal race.
When Carl Edwards took the lead from Brian Vickers, it was the first time Brian was not in the lead since lap 31 of the race. At around this point, it became the Carl Edwards-Brian Vickers show. Carl Edwards did lead a good handful of laps, but thankfully, on a caution on lap 148, Brian Vickers was able to beat Carl Edwards off of pit road and regain the lead. At a track where clean air is really important, this paid dividend to Brian Vickers, thus again, having the dominating car at the beginning of a short run and the middle run. Carl Edwards did have the better car near the end for the long run, but at this point of the race, it seemed as though that this was the best way for Brian Vickers to win, was to beat Carl Edwards off of pit road. Though Carl did regain the lead and Brian Vickers was right on his tail for the rest of the race, a caution came out with 4 laps to go, and due to the overtime rules, Brian Vickers never got the opportunity he truly deserved to win the race he dominated.
Car in the wall, it's Bobby Labonte in turn 2.
Caution. At lap 199, caution is out, and we are going to have to check with NASCAR to see if we have already entered the green flag checker scenario. The green flag waved to begin lap 200, which meant that we were already into overtime. So that started the green.
On the racetrack, cross start finish line, then come all the way back around.
That started the green-white checker scenario, and if the caution comes out after that green flag, the field is frozen at the timing line just passed, and the order of finish determined.
We'll take the checker flag this time, and then you do whatever you want, buddy.
And I don't know if I tell Carl Edwards that or not.
Even though Brian Vickers did not win this race, his stats were absolutely incredible. He led 121 laps out of 200, started 3rd, finished 2nd, an average running position of 2.0, and had the fastest lap 42 times out of the 200 circuits that day. Brian Vickers did not win the race, and many people thought he may have some more dominating cars down the road. Unfortunately, this was not the case. Brian Vickers only won 3 races after that day. One at Talladega, one at Michigan, and one at New Hampshire. I wonder what could have happened if Brian Vickers won that race when he had a dominating car. If you guys like this video, make sure to click that like button and subscribe for more awesome content. And if you got a suggestion for the next video, leave it in the comments. This is Sloppy Joe, signing out.